You didn't stop hoping because you gave up. You stopped because hoping started to hurt. Because every time you let yourself believe, you paid for it. With disappointment, with silence, with another door that didn't open. So somewhere along the way, you made a quiet decision. If I don't hope, I can't be disappointed. If I don't reach, I can't fall. If I don't want, I can't lose. And it felt like wisdom, but it was self-protection. This video is about what that protection costs you and how to come back to hope without abandoning yourself again. For most people, there is a moment, not a dramatic moment, a quiet one, a relationship that didn't become what you hoped, a person who kept letting you down, a dream you poured yourself into that never became real, a door that never opened, a message that never came, a promise that was never kept. And after enough of those moments, something inside you made a decision. At the time, it felt like learning. It felt like growing up. But sometimes what feels like wisdom is actually self-protection, wearing wisdom's clothes. And somewhere along the way, the two became difficult to tell apart. The problem is that giving up hope doesn't only protect you from disappointment, it protects you from possibility. When you stop hoping, you stop reaching. When you stop reaching, you stop trying. And when you stop trying, parts of you slowly begin to disappear. Not dramatically, not all at once. Quietly, you stop mentioning what you want. You stop imagining a different future. You start saying, "It doesn't matter. Whatever you think, I'm fine." Not because it's true, but because wanting things has started to feel dangerous. And slowly, you build a life around avoiding pain instead of pursuing what matters. That is the hidden cost, not just the dreams you abandoned, but the version of yourself that stopped believing they were allowed to want them. I am not going to tell you to simply hope again, because I know what it cost you the last time. But I want you to understand something. There are two kinds of hoping. One that ignores what happened. That pretends the patterns weren't real. That keeps reaching without paying attention. I understand why you let that kind go. It was expensive. But there is another kind. The kind that remembers. That sees clearly. That knows it might not work out. And reaches anyway. Not because you are certain, but because you decided your life is worth the possibility of something better. That is not naivety. That is the quietest form of courage. Giving up hope doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it looks like functioning. Showing up, paying the bills, doing what needs to be done, but quietly losing your connection to anything you actually want. It looks like staying in situations you've outgrown, accepting what is available, instead of pursuing what is right, watching other people talk about the future, and feeling nothing, not because you stopped caring, but because somewhere along the way, you made a quiet agreement with yourself. I will stop wanting things, so they cannot be taken from me. If that feels familiar, that agreement was not wisdom. That was a wound, pretending to be a decision, and those are not the same thing. If you stopped hoping, I understand why. The disappointments were real. The losses were real, and the need to protect yourself made complete sense. But here is what I want to leave you with. You have survived every single thing that convinced you hope was dangerous. Every closed door, every broken promise, every version of the future that never arrived. You are still here, which means the fear was wrong about you. You don't need to hope for everything. Not yet. Just one thing. Something small. Something true. Something that belongs to you. Tonight, write one desire you keep calling too much. Don't fix it. Don't minimize it. Just name it. Like it matters. Because it does. If these words found you at the right moment, subscribe. I write for the parts of you that are still figuring things out.